I'm watching my email.
My talk is about an historical perspective on the role of women in statistics. I'm very glad to be in this International Day of Women in Statistics and Data Science. Prior to the 20th century, there have been few women statisticians or mathematicians whose work has been recorded. This may be due to social barriers and culturally imposed restrictions, such as negative attitudes about their scientific talent and the usefulness of mathematics for them, difficult in obtaining a mathematical education, and lack of support and understanding to relieve women of domestic tasks. However, we can highlight the achievements of Aglaonice, Hypatia, Chatelet, Germain, Lovelace, and Nightingale, among others. Although men still dominating careers in statistics, there are some current high achievement female statisticians who serve as good role models. Then I will do a review of women who have been most prominent since the beginning of statistics. Did you receive it? I have sent it. Well, the first one I will talk about is Aglaonice of Thessalia. She was born in Thessaly and is known as the first astronomer and Western history. This woman probably studied in Mesopotamia, as she knew perfectly Saros cycles studied by Saros and Chaldeans, and which could predict eclipses with great accuracy at the time. These predictions were based on her experience as an astronomer. This capacity certainly gave her a major power in their society that was closely linked to the fear that some celestial phenomena, as eclipses, occurred in people. Another one, the second I will talk about, is Hypatia of Alexandria. The name of Hypatia means the greatest. She is considered the first woman mathematician of the recorded history. She was the daughter of a mathematician, Theon of Alexandria, teacher dedicated to the rebuilding of the most celebrated scientific works, who wanted to create a perfect human being. Hypatia was the result. He trained her both physically and mentally. She became a teacher at the School of Athens and achieved great popularity as mathematics teacher, reading the position of director of the school. Hypatia was in problems because she was in a dispute between the Patriarch of Alexandria, Cyril, and the Roman prefect of Alexandria called Orestes. So she was murdered by followers of Cyril. She was the first woman to make a substantial contribution to the development of mathematics. She was a true pioneer and even a martyr as science woman. Because of this, Hypatia was regarded almost as a saint patron of science in the Christian world, and her image is considered a symbol for the defense of scientific against irrational attacks devoid of any sense. Did you receive it?
Nope. It's okay. I'm watching it.
Well, Emily of Chatelet is the third woman I will speak about. She was married at the age of 19 with the Marquis of Chatelet. Emotional and intellectually related with Voltaire for several years, she hid him in the residence that the Marquis has in Cirey to prevent his imprisonment in the Bastille. She studied Newton and Leibniz and remained in constant contact with the most prestigious mathematicians of that period, Bernoulli, Clauret, Euler. She used to have activities with them from time to time in Carrel. She began to study probability through her contacts with Bernoulli. Her most important scientific contribution was the translation from Latin to French of the Principia Mathematica of Newton, bringing down the theory of Ptolemy on the laws of the universe and regarded by many as the book of greatest scientific importance ever written. For doing this, she definitely required to be remarkably instructed in geometry and astronomy. The four women I will talk about is Marie-Sophie Germain. She was the daughter of a member in a good economic position, allowing her to have at home a generous library. As a child, she studied mathematics alone. At 18, she got some notes of Lagrange, mathematicians, and distinguished professor at the École Polytechnique. And fearing that he, despite her ideas as a woman, she sent her comments signed with the male pseudonym A. Leblanc. Something similar happened with Gauss, one of the greatest mathematicians of all time, with whom she corresponded for years, hiding her condition under the same pseudonym, making contributions to the theory of probability. Finally, he recommended her to the University of Göttingen, of which he was a teacher, and became Doctor Honoris Causa by this university. Her best-known works are a partial proof of Fermat's last theorem and a theory of elasticity, which won her the admission to the Academy of Science and an award of this Academy. It is important to highlight that she was the first female member of the Academy. Today, a school, a street, and a hotel in Paris carry her name. Now, I will talk about the fifth woman. She is Augusta Ada Byron, Countess of Lovelace. Absolutely ahead of her time, the great Ada was the first scientific in the computing history and the world's first programmer. She discovered that through a series of symbols and math standards, it was possible to calculate an important set of numbers. She worked analyzing a machine capabilities, later to be the computer, that could develop numerical calculations according to the principles of Babbage and his analytical engine. In addition, she worked with the Morgan and Babbage in probability theory. In her you can put it now. And in addition, she worked with them. IADA is the name of the programming language and is often referred to as the first computer programmer. As a curiosity, her father was Byron, the magnificent literature work in the world. Now I will call about Florence Nightingale. Motivated by her desire for independence, can you put it? Can you hear me?
The email didn't come, so I'm just sharing your abstract so that people can see the names and also your email. Okay.
Yes, yes. You didn't receive them?
Nope.
Okay. I will put the light, more light, to see if that is the problem. It isn't. Well, now I will speak about Florence Nightingale. Motivated by her desire of independence, the family and social conventions of the time, she confronted her family to look for a professional qualification that would allow her to be useful to the humanity. In 1853, she became supervisor of nurses in a charity hospital in London, and she introduced major technological organizational innovations. Her work began to overcome the traditional care model based just on good feelings, and so this traditional model was replaced by a scientific health care which required a rigorous training of nurses. She became famous in the war with Crimea. On her return to England, she used her popularity to influence the highest echelons of power, winning the support of Queen Victoria. Deploying a frenetic activity, she managed the British military reform health, the progressive extension of her model to civilian health, the introduction of health reforms in India, and the creation of a nursing school in 1860. Her greatest educational contribution was the creation of new institutions for training both military doctors and hospital nurses, but some of her lesser non-educational projects are full of very good lessons. Nightingale has been studied as a reformer and statistician, as administrator and researcher, but as an educator, her influence has unfortunately been scarce. Until the age of 31, she did not have the opportunity to apply herself on her own education and preparation. Florence felt compelled to make some practical use of her knowledge, so that her early letters, notes, and booklets make constant references to the objectives of education and instruction. She criticized the instruction offered to women of her time. Now, I will call another woman, Florence Nightingale Shore. She was one of her nieces of Nightingale, continued her steps. She founded the Department of Biostatistics at the University of California and made a recovery campaign imagining of her aunt as passionate statistician woman. She was this woman, Rosalind Frances Nash. She was journalist and co-operator and the niece and confidant of Florence Nightingale. She assisted in some of Nightingale's publications and wrote on her behalf to Carl Pearson when Pearson was writing his biography of Francis Galton. Now I will speak about the ISI. The ISI was formally founded in 1885 during a meeting held to celebrate the jubilee of the London Statistical Society. The initial 81 members were the elite of that area's statisticians in government academia. They established our first tertius, and our first half-century was a period of general stability. Major changes, such as the proposed affiliation in 1920 with the League of Nations, were resisted. There are several interesting examples of early development and application of statistics by ISI members. For example, Florence Nightingale was a pioneer in the development of statistics graphics to visualize represent data. The International Statistical Institute, the committee, now I will talk about the Committee on Women on Statistics, is a committee of the International Statistical Institute. It's currently chaired by now Jessica Domisik, who is professor in the Department of Statistics at the University of Zagreb, Croatia. The committee was formally established during the ISI Beijing session in August 1995, but held its first meeting during ISI session in Istanbul in August 1997. Well, the objectives of the committee, if you want to know, are in the page of ISI. If you look for the Committee of Women in Statistics, there you can see them. Now, the participation of women of all the world is increasing, taking in account to support the compilation of statistics on women, with a view to generating relevant studies concerning women's role in the various activities in their countries. Here, but I will present the name of the representatives of the ISI Committee of Women in the different countries. In my slides, there are all the representatives by continents, by Africa, Asia, Oceania, Europe, and North America, Latin America. And I want to tell you that I am a member of the Committee on Statistics of ISI. And we can also speak. Did you receive it? But, and I can also refer to the Caucus for Women in Statistics, who invited me to give this talk, that I have lots of pictures of this woman. I prepared a very, very significant for me, because there were all the photos of this woman. And I want to result that the caucus works closely with the Committee on Women in Statistics, COWIS, from the American Statistical Association, ASA, as similar committees in other statistical organizations to promote the professional improvement of women in statistics. And the conclusions, I hope that this paper will serve as an inspiration to current women to enlarge the role of statistician women in the world. Well, I have lots of pictures and things to present, but I don't know what happened, because first you could see me, and now I think because of I'm in the Patagonia now giving a course, and now there is 120 kilometers of the wind. So I think that is the problem. But I invite all of you, if you, Nairajana, can show my slides when you receive them.
Yes, I will. So I will send this. I will once I get your slides, I will go ahead and share it with the people. I think several people have already asked me for the slides, so I could send it to them, or I will also share your email with them so that they can reach out to you. Okay.
I prepared so beautiful PowerPoint that it's a shame I can't.
It's probably the pictures. Maybe the pictures are made it very memory heavy, so it's probably getting, it's probably having a hard time transmitting. That's probably what it is.
Well, thank you. If you want to ask me a question, I'm involved in all the committees of women. I'm sure that our place in the world can be every day better, and we have to work a lot. Now I'm in the Committee of Ethics of the ISI, in the Committee of Women. I work with Saleha in the P-STAR, making statistics more important and the role of statistics in all the world. So what you need, I'm in the committee in Argentina, in the National University of Rosario too, and I'm always fighting for taking the woman the real place she needs to have in all parts of the role as statistician.
Thank you very much, Teresita. First of all, we have 2 minutes, but are there questions for her that you can directly ask her? Okay, I think people want your slides, Teresita. So the moment I get it, I will go ahead and...
So well, I think if I don't have, I can send you the slides again, okay?
Okay, yeah, yeah. Just convert it into a PDF. That might be easy.